What's going on, everybody? Hope you're all having a fantastic day today. Now, just very quickly before we go ahead and get to the topic of today's video, over on my live stream, which is over on Twitch, you can find the link to that down in the description of this video. We're going to be going ahead and playing throughout the whole Modern Warfare 2019 campaign to prep ourselves for Modern Warfare 2 2022's campaign, which is coming out on Thursday. So today and also Wednesday, we're going to play through the whole thing of MW 2019, and then obviously on Thursday, if you guys don't want any spoilers, then don't check out the stream, of course, because Thursday and Friday we're going to be streaming Modern Warfare 2. But if you don't mind the spoilers and you just want to see what the campaign is all about, then by all means tune into the live stream that I'm going to be hosting. We're going to be checking out the campaign, and more than likely we're going to make a YouTube video about it as well in the future. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I already know you guys are going to be wondering, what the heck am I watching? You clicked on a Battlefield video, and here we are checking out something completely different. Don't worry, it's something that I think you will enjoy personally. It's called World War III, and it's a game that I talked about a couple of times on the channel, and I am planning on making a little bit more content about it in the future. But I just thought I should showcase this gameplay over Battlefield 2042 because it's way less boring, and honestly, it looks 10 times better. So I'm going to showcase this instead. But like I said, today's video is going to be about the future of Battlefield. Nothing to do with Battlefield 2042. I'm kind of, over that game. I will go ahead and check it out when new content updates come out. But other than that, I'm just not really interested in 2042. But the next Battlefield game, especially with all the new developers coming in, top dogs, people who worked at Respawn or, the OG Infinity Ward who made Modern Warfare 2, people who have created the Halo franchise, a lot of goats in the industry are coming over to work on Battlefield. So, regardless if it's going to be good or bad, I still want to see what these people are capable of in the Battlefield realm. But there has been one individual who has been the saving grace for pretty much the whole Battlefield fan base right now. If you have to rely on any developer to come out and actually talk to us, you're pretty much crap out of luck. Now, they will go ahead and discuss a few things here and there when it comes to Battlefield 2042, but when it comes down to the really, nitty-gritty things that we want rearranged, it's been an absolute pain. The specialists, they still haven't even told us specifically what their plans are to do with them. They dabbled a little bit into the class system, but nothing crazy just yet. And we're almost over a year into production, and we still can't get something as simple as bringing in a class system into a Battlefield game, something that's been in Battlefield since the beginning of time. It's been really rough with the feedback from these developers, but one person who has been absolutely fantastic is Marcus Soletto. Now, this individual right here, like I said, is one of the people who came from a different game franchise to come work on Battlefield 2042. Now, he is one of the head leaders of the Halo universe, so, he definitely knows exactly what he's doing when it comes to video games. But he is one of the only people who consistently comes out on social media and communicates with the community on what they want to see out of the next Battlefield game. Nobody else does that. Once again, every other developer, we all begin to see these egos where they only want to do what they want to do with the next game. Same thing happens with everything else out there, even COD, They don't allow the fan base to be a part of the journey of development, which I think personally goes hand in hand sometimes when you want to make a game that's going to last forever. And Marcus is making sure that every second of the way, on his path of designing the next Battlefield game, we have our input, and I absolutely love that. Now, this is the question that Marcus put together for the whole fan base. Make sure you guys go on Twitter, check this man out, leave your feedback under his post, and also leave your feedback under this video as well in the comment section. Let's try to make, our voices heard across the board as much as we possibly can for the next Battlefield title. Now, Marcus said, "Hey, Battlefield players. Question about locations, which are expensive to build, along with well-designed map variety. Would you prefer more maps and more variety from large to small layouts and fewer locations, or less variety in layouts but more unique locations?" Now, I do want to go ahead and start it off this way. This has nothing to do with the question that's asked here, but I think the whole community is thinking this. Please, for the love of God, do not give us the amount of maps that you gave us in Battlefield 2042. I understand it's going to be under, quote-unquote live service. I don't care what it's under. We need content so desperately bad. It's not even funny at this point. If the next Battlefield game launches with the same amount of content as Battlefield 2042, and we see the same amount of releases, like one map for every 5 months at this point, not even 5 months, it's taking way longer at this point sometimes, we are going to be in massive trouble. But I think the question that he's trying to ask here is, would we like less unique locations, but more, variety out of those spots? Or would we like more unique locations with, less variety out of those spots? I guess what he's trying to say here is, would we like to see more maps like, Moscow, for example? We'd like to go to Moscow and fight at the main point, the main locations that we all know about? Or do we want to go to Moscow and then travel to different, maybe small towns or, different areas of Moscow that add a little bit more variety? I think what he means here when he says, it's expensive to build these locations is because they actually go out to these spots and actually find these locations and try to mimic them exactly. So like I said, he's asking us, do we want to see more, crazy locations, which will be a bigger budget because they're going to have to travel a lot more? Or do we want to see less, unique locations, but more variety in those spots, which means that they can fly out to these certain spots, but instead of flying, all around the globe, they'll just fly to these locations and go to 5-6 different spots in these locations and build maps around these certain areas. I hope that made enough sense. It makes logical sense to me, but when I try to describe it, it's a little difficult. For me personally, I want to see more unique locations. I don't mind, seeing those small towns and different areas of these specific locations that might be unique if you're, an everyday pedestrian of these spots. But honestly, I like fighting at the well-known locations across the globe. I want to see the main points of the USA or the main points of Russia or the main points of Germany, locations that absolutely everybody knows about. That's what I care about. I don't really care about taking me down, the back alley street of some random town in Germany or Russia or something like that. It's cool. Don't get me wrong. That's definitely a nice choice, and it can work. Obviously, map variety is map variety. If we get enough maps at launch, no matter where they are, I don't care, right? Like as long as I get a decent amount of maps in my multiplayer experience, I'm going to be happy. But if the question is about what I would rather see, I would definitely rather see more unique locations across the globe. And don't get me wrong, the other style of maps are really cool, like for example, like Clean Sweep out of MW 2019 in the campaign. It's just a random apartment building. It's not a hot spot. It's not something that everybody would know about. It's not something someone is going to recognize, but it still plays extremely well. The atmosphere is outstanding. You don't need these well-known locations to have a good time, but it's just something about, like, for example, the White House, just seeing something that everybody knows about. You can go and drive past the White House right now and see what it looks like, and just seeing that and a war-torn version of itself made by the developers, allow them to have that creativity to, show what it could possibly look like if an all-out strike, just happened on the White House out of nowhere. Well, it was Modern Warfare 2, right? Modern Warfare 2 had a mission like that, and it was just insane. It was awesome. It really made you feel like you were inside the experience because you knew what you were looking at. You knew where you were at. It's just night and day difference with how you feel inside the moment, whether you're walking through like a random town that you have no clue what it's all about, or going to an actual national location and fighting up that and seeing what it's like. I mean, it's just an absolute epic experience, and I think that's honestly what I would enjoy seeing. And of course, I'm not an all-knowing genius. I'm actually quite a dumbass, so all of your voices mean a lot as well. So, don't just listen to me. Go down in the comment section and tell me what you would enjoy the most, what you think is the coolest experience you can get out of a game. And also, just very quickly before we go ahead and end off this video, it was another post under that tweet that I thought was very interesting that I want to flash up here. I talked about it a little bit in the past, but I really want to emphasize on this because I hope they expand Portal to actually act this way. It was actually, the tweet is by a person named Battlefield Portal. And they said, what about a map editor? Would be cool, right? And yeah, I completely agree. I've mentioned this multiple times in the past. That's what I expected Portal to be in the first place. When I saw all the ways they were releasing trailers for Portal and advertising Portal, they made it look like we can practically do anything. We can go into a blank map if we want to. Any of the base maps that we know and love from the Battlefield franchise, you can go into that and just take out all of the objects if you want to. Start with a blank slate and just go to town and build it up in your own way. That would be so cool, and it would help in case you guys don't have that much time or maybe not that much resources or whatever the case is, live service, I don't know. EA is, an ass sometimes, so I understand that's a pain in the butt to work around EA, so it might be a pain to get more maps into the game, but having a map editor in Portal would truly allow the community to expand on the game itself without you guys needing to do anything, and they'll play it too. The community will literally play it, and they'll accept it as new content. It's like, it's a win-win for practically everybody. So hopefully they work on that as well. But ladies and gentlemen, I think that's all I really have to say about this whole situation here. I just really hope that the next Battlefield game is going to turn out good. All of the information Marcus has been, letting out to us, all the questions he's been asking, and how in the loop he's letting the community be is what's impressing me the most here. And it could completely backfire. It could always backfire. We've been finessed so many times now. Like I said, I say this in almost all my videos now. I always say it cannot get any worse. And every single year that goes by, it gets worse. So honestly, at this point, I can't say that anymore because it literally will always get worse. So we'll have to see if what Marcus is saying here is good and if he's actually going to take this feedback that we're giving him But, at the end of the day, I like what he's saying, and I think a lot of the community likes it as well. But ladies and gentlemen, thanks so much for checking out this video. If you enjoyed it, make sure to leave a like. Bums that hate it, leave a dislike. Also, if you're brand new and enjoy the content, don't forget to subscribe, hit that notification button. Also, want to chat with me, this too, we do so. I have a Twitter and Discord, both link in the description. And also want to catch me live streams of video games, do over on Twitch. Link that's in the description as well. But guys, thank you so much for tuning in. See you all next one. Peace out.